Hey everyone, and welcome. Today, we are diving into a really exciting shift in industrial cleaning. We're talking about moving past all that messy, manual work and stepping into the age of light. This is all about the business case for laser cleaning, and believe me, when you see the numbers, you'll realize they don't just add up, they're an absolute game changer. So let's kick things off with a pretty important question. I want you to really think about your current cleaning methods. Are you actually accounting for all the hidden costs? I'm not just talking about the price on an invoice. I mean the constant reordering of supplies, the budget for getting rid of hazardous waste, the downtime when a part gets damaged, and of course, the safety risks for your crew. These aren't just little expenses, they're major operational headaches. Okay, let's break it down right here. Look at this side by side. For laser cleaning, you see none, right down the line for consumables, surface damage, and waste. Now, glance over at the old ways. Sandblasting, you're constantly buying media, not to mention the serious health risks. And chemical stripping. You buy the chemicals, and then you have to pay again just to dispose of all that toxic sludge. The difference isn't just small, it's night and day. So, what's this modern solution we're talking about? It's industrial-grade laser cleaning technology. And specifically, we're looking at it from a factory-direct manufacturer like Chihalo, who's making this amazing tech more accessible than ever, mainly by cutting out the middleman. You know, the core idea here is brilliantly simple. A laser cleaning machine just uses a super focused beam of light to basically vaporize contaminants. But look at these key phrases: without physical contact, chemicals, or abrasive media. This isn't just a new tool, it's a totally different way of thinking. It's a cleaner, safer, and way more precise process from the ground up. But how does it do all that without wrecking the material underneath? Well, it's this really cool process called selective evaporation. The laser is tuned so that only the contaminants, the rest, the paint, the grime, absorb all that energy and just poof, they vaporize. The clean metal base underneath, it just reflects the beam, leaving it completely unharmed. The laser literally only removes what you want it to remove. Okay, so the science is impressive, right? But how does it actually translate into a real-world decision for your business? Choosing the right machine is absolutely crucial, because this is definitely not a one-size-fits-all kind of deal. And that brings us to maybe the single biggest choice you have to make: continuous wave versus a pulsed laser. The easiest way to think about it is this. For big, tough jobs like stripping tons of rust, the raw speed and power of a CW laser is your workhorse. But for really delicate stuff, like cleaning intricate molds or even historical artifacts, you need the surgical precision of a pulsed laser. It's what they call cold cleaning because it has almost zero heat impact on the surface. And it's not just about the type of laser, it's also about the power. A super common mistake is thinking more power is always better. But a 3,000-watt machine won't actually clean an engine block any faster than a 1,500-watt model, which is kind of the gold standard for most shops. You want to match the power to your actual workload. That's how you maximize your return. All right, so we've covered the science, we've covered the hardware. Now let's get to the part that really matters for any business decision: the return on investment. And honestly, this is where laser cleaning just leaves the old methods in the dust. So let's talk about the most important number on the screen: $18,900. Just let that sink in for a second. That is the minimum a mid-sized shop can expect to save in just 3 years by switching from sandblasting to a 1,500-watt laser. So, how do we get to a number that big? Let's break it down. Okay, just take a look at this 3-year breakdown. Yes, the laser has a higher upfront cost in that first year, no doubt. But look what happens after that. Your ongoing cost is basically just electricity. Meanwhile, with sandblasting and chemicals, you are locked into spending thousands, year after year, on media, on disposal, on labor. Those are costs that just never, ever go away. And when you see it laid out like this in a bar chart, the long-term reality is just undeniable. The total cost of owning a laser cleaner is a tiny fraction of the alternatives. You're not just buying a machine, you are literally deleting entire line items from your annual budget. For good. That's exactly why most businesses see a full return on their investment in well under a year. The financial side is crystal clear, but what does this actually look like in the real world? Let's step away from the spreadsheet and get onto the shop floor, because the versatility and the results of this tech in practice are just incredible. I mean, just look at this list. The range of what one machine can do is huge. You could be doing heavy rust removal in the morning, then switch to some precise mold cleaning in the afternoon, and maybe even some delicate stone restoration later on. It's like a Swiss Army knife for surface prep that replaces a half dozen different messy processes. And here's what that actually feels like for a business owner. For Declan over in the UK, it wasn't just about saving money on supplies, it was about getting back his most valuable asset, his time. A job that used to take 30 minutes now takes a few minutes. I mean, just imagine what that kind of efficiency boost could do for your shop's output. But it's not just about being fast, it's about the quality of the work. John in Spain really hits on the effectiveness. Because the laser is so incredibly precise, you get a perfectly clean, totally undamaged surface every single time. And that's absolutely critical for things like prepping for a new weld or a fresh coat of paint. And finally, Antoine from France brings up something that's so important, especially when you're buying factory direct: the support. Knowing that you've got reliable after-sales service, someone who can hop on a video call to help you get things dialed in, that gives you the confidence to make the leap. It's not just about buying hardware, it's about having a partner. So, if you're getting curious about what this kind of ROI could look like for your own operation, you can check out the full range of machines and get a custom quote built for you. Chihalo has everything laid out really clearly over at fiberlasercleaning.com/laser-cleaning machine. You can even send them a sample part of your own and they'll do a free test cleaning for you. And that kind of brings us to our final thought. Yeah, today we focused on cleaning, but this technology really represents a much bigger idea. So I'll just leave you with this question. What outdated, money-draining process in your own business is just sitting there waiting for a modern upgrade to come along and completely change the game?